Hello all, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3, and in this particular video, I want to talk to you about whether you can do a PhD without, or a doctorate without doing a dissertation or some sort of thesis. So if you don't know me, I am a associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, integrated this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There were so many people that helped me out to get through graduate school that I wanted to pay the favor forward and help you out. All right, so can you actually get a PhD or some sort of doctorate without a dissertation or without a thesis? Generally, most PhDs, most doctorates around the world are going to require you to have some sort of project, whatever that is. And it depends on the type and the program that you're in terms of the extent of the project that you have to work on. So if it is at a major research institution, the PhD thesis, dissertation is going to be rather lengthy, and they're going to require for you to put some work into it. So it's probably going to take you a year to say 5 years, and probably the average is probably a year and a half, 2 years in terms of doing a dissertation, maybe even 3, somewhere around there, in terms of writing up your dissertation. Somewhere in that length right there is kind of the average of what most people do in most programs. And they are supposed to be a pretty in-depth sort of thing that you're working on after you've done your coursework. So generally what you do is you do a bit of coursework. So for a couple of years at most research institutions. And then after that, you have your comprehensive exams or your core exams, whatever you want to call them, your Viva, I believe it's called, but basically some sort of big exam that sort of assesses your skills. And then after that, you're given a blessing, and then you can run with what you're working on and write up a couple of papers and then write up your dissertation at the same time. Or that you should be doing is kind of thinking about the project that you're working on. So I just focused on my dissertation when I was going through it. Took me a long time to complete the thing personally myself. I think I was done in about 5 years in terms of the dissertation. Of when I started, it took me, I think, about 3 years to complete. It was about 3 years to complete my dissertation, to get it all the way to the end. But is there programs around the world that require you not to sort of do a writing component? I don't think that there is very few programs in the world that allow you to get a dissertation or a doctorate without some sort of project to do, and project that you've worked on. And the reason is that there is supposed to be a level of quality in terms of your capabilities, in terms of completing the thing, right? And as well as you're supposed to be generating knowledge, right? Like that's the whole point of university, or the whole point of a doctorate degree, is so you're generating knowledge and you understand what research is about. Now, can you sort of write less than other programs? Yeah, obviously. And depending on your supervisor, depending on the school that you're at, there is going to be a lot less. Some schools require you a lot less. Some supervisors require you to do a lot less. And it just really means, or really sort of depends on a lot of situational factors. Now, can you get through if you're stuck on something and you're just like not doing well in the PhD program? I think most people are going to help you through as quickly as they can possibly do, just to ensure that you complete the thing, right? Like that's the important thing, is to realize that you complete it. And so people are going to work with you as much as they can to get the silly thing done, right? So that's really what it comes down to. And some people might have unreasonable standards that are set really high, and you just have to sort of think about that when you are creating your committee and planning through all of this kind of stuff. You have to think about who do you want on your committee? What do you want personally in terms of the career goals you want to do? Now, I want you to ask yourself, do you want to be the person that is always looking for shortcuts? And I think that's a really important thing. If you're watching this video and you're trying to reduce the amount of effort that you have to do to get a PhD, well, that's great. If you want to do that and you want to get out and you get your doctorate, doesn't matter. If you want to do that and you want to be that type of person that is focused on doing the least amount of possible in the least amount of time, that is, you're being completely rational in every sort of sense of the words. But then you also think about, like, what are you trying to accomplish in life? What is your end goal? Are you trying to just be, trying to cut corners on everything that you possibly can get at so you can become, a very successful individual in the world? Or are you trying to sort of build up the skills necessary? Are you trying to build up your capabilities so that you can excel at being an expert in a particular field? And those are two different things. I'm going to give you a hint. If you're going for the former, or the first one, that you're trying to cut corners in everything that you do to become the most successful person in the world, doesn't work that way. That's really generally not how life works. You have to build capabilities and skills so that you can excel going forward, so you can actually do this stuff on your own going forward. Because there's going to be a time where you are the person that's leading something, that you are the person that's going to be helping out other people. And if you don't have those necessary skills, then you're just not going to shine. It's not going to show through, and people understand that. It's not the fact that you can't do that, and it's not like totally, it's not that it is not possible in any sort of way to get through something very quickly. But you have to think about, other people are going to be looking at you and the skills that you have and the abilities that you have, and you have to worry about that. And as well as people want to trust you that you can run forward and do something that's amazing and it's going to be sooner than you think. It's going to be maybe in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, they're going to ask you to do something that's absolutely wonderful. And if you don't have the skills, you're just not going to get that ask, right? The people are going to pass over that opportunity. They're going to see, this person, not really ready for that. That's not the thing that they should be doing. I'm going to pick somebody else. And you have to really think about that as an individual when you're doing this. Are you trying to get through just to get through and do it as quick as you possibly can? Or are you actually trying to build the skills and capabilities so that you can excel going forward? And maybe it's not in the next 5 years, or in not the next 10 years, but maybe in the next 20 years. Maybe you're going to be the next president of a university, or a CEO of a major corporation. Well, do you want to cut all the corners to get to the point that you can get there and then not excel, and everybody's going to realize why you actually got to the place that you realized? Or are you going to be the person that actually puts in the time and effort to build up your capabilities, so when you are the next CEO, the next president of a university, that you run the university in such a way that people are just really excited, motivated to go to work, and they realize that you're the real deal, and what you're trying to do is true. It's true to yourself. It's true to the world, and people are really happy with what you're doing. So it's a question you have to ask yourself when you're doing this. All right. So in this video, I talked about whether you can actually get a dissertation, or if you can get a PhD, a doctorate, without writing up a dissertation or a thesis, and give you a bunch of scenarios and how to actually do that. But then at the end, I ask you whether you want to do that. Is that the thing that you want to do and excel as a person, as a decent, civil human being that's going to thrive in the world around you? All right, so give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.